My name is Miriam Louise Halston, and I am 97 years old. I have lived my entire life on the Kansas plains, where the wind has a personality of its own and the sky can change its mind faster than a person can blink. Outsiders think Kansas is empty, but the wind carries stories. The storms keep secrets, and the land remembers everything. This is the story the land remembered for me. The story of the boy I loved, the tornado that stole him, and the message he somehow left for me nearly half a century later. I was 17 when I met him. His name was Tobias Reed, Toby, though he never liked the nickname. He was tall, thin, sunburned, always smelling faintly of wheat and engine oil. His father was a mechanic. His mother had died when he was 5. People whispered that the boy had too much sadness in him for someone his age. But that wasn't what made him different. What made him different was the way he looked at storms. While everyone else hid in cellars, Toby would stand outside and watch the sky, not foolishly, not recklessly, but like he understood it, like he could hear something in the wind that no one else could. He once told me, "The sky speaks before it breaks. You just have to listen." That was the moment I fell in love with him. We spent our afternoons exploring abandoned barns, watching hawks, skipping stones in the creek. On nights when the wind was calm, we'd climb the roof of his father's shop and stare at stars so bright they looked like they were burning holes in the sky. It was on that roof, under that sky, that he told me his dream. He said, "I don't want to farm or fix cars. I want to study storms. I want to understand why they come, why they change, why they take some things and leave others." I asked him if storms scared him. He shook his head. "They don't scare me, but what they take does." We were inseparable. Everyone in town assumed we'd marry. Then came May 25th, 1957, the day the sky split open. We knew a storm was coming. The heat was too heavy, the wind too still. The clouds gathered like bruises across the horizon. Radios crackled warnings. People rushed to board up windows. By late afternoon, the sirens wailed. A massive tornado had touched down just west of town. It was a monster, half a mile wide, roaring like a train, devouring everything in its path. People ran to cellars. Mothers screamed for children. The world turned green and silent in that terrible way tornado skies do. I ran toward Toby's house. He wasn't there. His father shouted. He went to help the Miller family. Their house trailer flipped. I froze. The Millers lived close to the tornado path. Without thinking, I sprinted toward the storm. Branches ripped at me, debris flew past like bullets, the air tasted like metal, sirens wailed, the ground shook. I reached the Miller property, or what was left of it. The tornado was only yards away, twisting black and gray and alive. The wind tore at my dress, my ears rang. I saw Toby through the chaos, struggling to pull Mrs. Miller and her 2 children from the wreckage of their trailer. He looked at me. Our eyes locked. He mouthed one word, "Go." But I didn't go. I took one step toward him. Then the tornado shifted. It lunged sideways with impossible speed. The Millers disappeared in a cloud of rotating earth and wood. Toby grabbed the youngest child and shielded him as the funnel swallowed them both in a deafening roar. And just like that, he was gone. When the storm passed, the land was unrecognizable. Houses flattened, fields shredded, cows thrown miles away. We found the Millers miraculously alive in a ditch half a mile from their home, but not Toby. Not a shoe, not a scrap of clothing, not a trace. For months, I walked the fields, searching for anything, any sign that he lived or that he died. Nothing. People tried to comfort me, telling me the tornado had taken him quickly, painlessly. But tornadoes don't take quickly. They tear, scatter, break. Still, no remains were ever found. Eventually, life moved forward without asking me. I married a kind man named Walter. Together, we raised 3 boys. He was steady, hardworking, gentle. I loved him with a calm, warm love, the kind that grows slowly and safely. But Toby was wildfire, wind, lightning. Some loves don't fade. They wait. Decades passed. Tornadoes came and went. My hair grayed. My children grew. My husband passed away at 82. And then, in the summer of 2000, 43 years after Toby vanished, something happened that I still cannot explain. A historian from the University of Oklahoma asked me to unlock an old barn on our property. The barn had been abandoned since the early 1960s, filled with dust, tools, memories. When we opened the door, a gust of warm air rushed out. Dust swirled, floorboards creaked, sunlight pierced the darkness in slanted beams. The historian stepped inside first. I followed. And that's when I saw it. On the center of the workbench, covered in dust, thick as flour, was a single word. Miriam. Written with a finger. Fresh. Clear. Impossible. The historian frowned. "Did you write this?" I shook my head. My throat closed. He ran his finger over it. The dust smeared. He asked, "How long has this barn been sealed?" I whispered, "Since 1962. He went still. We investigated everything. Windows, doors, cracks. No one had been inside. No footprints. No signs of forced entry. Nothing disturbed except that one word. And it was written in handwriting I had not seen since 1957. Toby's. The historian didn't understand why I collapsed to my knees. But I knew. Some messages don't come by mail. They don't come by phone. Some come on the wind, delivered by stories unfinished. I don't know how that writing appeared. I don't know if it was Toby's hand or his spirit or something carried by the storm itself. But I know this. It wasn't meant to frighten me. It was meant to finish something. For 43 years, I thought the tornado took him. But now I believe the storm didn't take him, it kept him. And somehow, somewhere in the language of wind and dust and memory, he sent a message. I didn't leave you. If I could speak to the girl I was at 17, chasing the tornado that swallowed the boy she loved, I would tell her, he didn't disappear into nothing. He didn't forget you. And love, real love, leaves traces even storms cannot erase. That is my story. The story of the boy the tornado claimed and the sign he sent me decades too late.